Hello, hello. Mic check. Yeah, I think it's working. Then there is no need for this page. Just woke up, got my coffee, and now to begin another episode of suffering. Just hope that I don't get another bug like last time. And spent an hour and a half just to discover the directory of the folder is what was wrong, not the entire project in itself. So what happened last time was the app wasn't working, and I'm very sure I will not forget this. The CRUD app application, the main one, with the at Spring Boot application, was in this directory right here, and the user directory should also be right here, part of it. Yes, should be on top for more visual representation, but it's fine. Now let's check again. And we haven't even used Postman yet. Just the, what's this called? Okay, that's new. The entire thing isn't working. Right, is this, that file was working fine before I moved it. Huh? Okay. For some reason the import cannot be found. So the controller is fine. The service, I mean, to some extent still have the save. Then we have the repository. Can't I just rewrite it again and chuchum? Give me a second. So if it was in caps, yes. GPA repository. I think it was only repository with no configuration, but let me check again. More actions. Add Maven dependency, yes. Wait, but the Maven dependency is already here. That's the web. Okay. I forgot. I did comment it while trying to figure out what part is connecting and what part isn't connecting. So it should be working now. And here I remove that part. Maven, sync project. It does take quite a while for it to reload. Yes. Okay. That's one trick that will also require another hour and a half if I didn't know how to do it. Okay, now back again. And I hope it works this time. Okay, everything seems fine so far. Let me check if there is anything else. Initializing Spring, web application, Hibernate, JDBC URL, connecting through database. I think everything is fine now. Let's get to our controller. And the thing that we should be getting on the web page, at least this get part. Just to make sure. This part, if I remember correctly, was in the Yes, it was still in the demo application, and we removed it to the API later afterwards. Yes, and the student controller was created. We removed that part, and we left the Spring application alone. I think, yeah, I didn't write the API exactly. I think it, let me check. It was this root right here. Okay, so that was the issue. So I think probably everything should be fine so far. Now to try it from Postman, let's delete all our requests from before. And how about we make the same get request like this one here, and see if we get the same result that we got from the web page. I think get request was easier to do in Postman than the post request. Was there something to be added or just the URL? Now let's check first. Okay, no, just the URL, but that's for the get request. So now we know that everything is working on both parts, the Postman and our code. Now to bring this hell of a mess right back. Import the class, import the class, import the class. Just like to have a space here. Everything so far so good. Let me check on the setters and getters. We have get ID, set ID, get name. We can make it as yes, but I don't want to for now. At least I'll check a couple of things first. Okay, let's try this again. Make a new post request, the same URL. We need to change the body to raw and to JSON format. And let's say in the web we created the ID, the name and the email. I want to check if it can be automatically generated afterwards or not, but we can check that later. For now, let's keep it simple. So we will say ID. Since this is a JSON format, yes, we do have quotations for the attributes. So we will always have quotations basically, unless it's name, unless it's what's called a number. So we have ID, and we will have it for what? 1. I think we'll do the same one. Then we have name to 10, and then we'll have age. Should we call it age? I don't think it was age. We had the, yeah, the email, and we have the email here for them at Gmail. Probably also need to have this on. We know for sure that the user have no data currently. Let's check the post request. Still an error. So where can the error be? I don't think there is much room for error in the repository when all we do is just extend. And if the service that was created, okay, we forgot here auto wire. Now let's try again. And here in the service part, there's also not much room for something being false because there isn't that much code, so it have to be in the controller. How about I reload the disk again? Okay, I think I have seen enough here. I want to see a post request. Let me check the database connection. The issue might be there. Yep, application properties. I have the local host. I have to specify the direct, but I got it from ChatGPT, not specific enough. Okay, we have the URL, the username, the password, and we have the name. Maybe I should just memorize them. I do them often for me not to memorize them. Okay, Spring JPA Hibernate DDL Auto. Hibernate to DDL slash auto. I know that part isn't that much relevant, but might as well create a drop since it's just a mock project. And yes, we want to see the SQL being executed. Dot show SQL equals to true. And then as for the tilec, we have org dot hibernate dot
Go ahead running and
okay, hibernate dot dialect dot post. We had scripter Postgres SQL okay, misspelling SQL dialect So we don't need that part. Spring dot jpn dot properties hibernate dot format SQL equals to
Again, if you this technology, we have L column temp. You can see that I do have two roles, so Amigos code and the post.
yeah, the DU is the one I was searching for before. Slash DU. Okay, we already created the database.
Created student. There we go. Semicolon and then database. There we go. So if I and then
I'm not sure about that part, and I haven't confirmed it from ChatGPT yet.
so if I connect to it, /C and then student and then /D and no relations. So now let's open up IntelliJ and
But for me, I should find a relation if they are connected.
I'm gonna open up the
Yeah.
use choice. Now you pick so this will so C equals 2. In a second we also need to have
The sequence part, I understand. He does a different type of sequence.
on lost starting at 1.
So how about we try to restart our project to see if everything so far is working. Because now I want to see the SQL command that's being created. I still see nothing. And that's way more lines than the one from before. I see an exception in the repository for long. I don't think so, but need to check again. How about we show all of this to ChatGPT, because I'm still not sure how to read all the lines so far. Failed to create instance of the driver class Hibernate. Okay. Okay, that was too much even for ChatGPT. How should I isolate all of this? For now, even to the service part, but no, I don't think so. Let me just skip it and check again. I want to check what the exception that happened here and the exception here. so there's something wrong with the connection. Okay, so there's just a misspelling. Now let's rerun it again. Now another exception. Seems to be a lot of exceptions. Wait. So all of these errors are from what's it called? The connection, not the database.
Increment 1.
Now let
This
you
is
check
Polish
here.
student.
For the connection. Because I want to need to check that everything is the same so far. Spring data source URL, JDBC, localhost, everything seems fine here. You have the username, you have the password. It's this one. Yep, it's not supposed to be the data source but a GPA. Spring GPA dot properties dot hyper dot direct. And now it should be identical from the video. Maybe because it was trying to create a JDBC like the normal one with the manual code that we have to do a lot. I'm not sure. Okay, let's start the project again. Okay, now it stopped working at all. Okay, could not obtain connection to the meta query data. That's another issue we have. Unable to resolve the name. Trini. Okay, let me just try to sync it again, because I don't think that's even correct. Let me check the spelling. PostgreSQL dialect. Yes, something like that. Generation target exception. Yeah, okay, thank you for working. Okay, so we have, this is our first exception that we have. It has to do with the types we have a lot of exceptions, not just that one. Okay, but let's start from the top. Not sure if undefined here is the normal message that we should be getting. But no, let's start from here. Spring Boot exception. Drop table if exists user via JDBC. Syntax failed by user. Yeah, I think the class should be reading to users because that's the name of the database. So okay, another issue. Just renaming everything. So now the user controller, we don't have any users. Okay, it didn't save for some reason. Users. Can we refactor? Select all, and then okay. Okay, I'll do it manually then. So this will be user, correct. Here, users, and users. Okay, so that's one mistake that we did. The name of the database was different. Let me just type here. The name of the database and the class was different, and also the connection was set to a JDBC. Should either save it somewhere so I can use it for later, or actually memorize it. I think I'll probably be memorizing it. Just more efficient that way. Now what else is wrong? Okay, there is a lot of errors now gone, and we have way less currently. Okay, we also get the create table. Let me select. How about before we test what's called the API, we test if the database is connecting, because for some reason it doesn't seem to be connecting. Let me check from Postman first if it will be working now. Now we have error 500, not error 400. I'm not sure if I should consider this an achievement or not. Isn't 500 worse than 400? I need to check again. 400 was not found. 500 500 meant something went wrong in the API itself. I think 500 was something went wrong in the server. Yeah, 400 bad request indicate that the server could not understand the request due to the invalid syntax. Okay, 500 internal server error. Okay, well, at least I know the API is being connected. Now I'll say that's an achievement to some extent. Yes. Something tried to happen here, but for some reason it didn't. Initializing unit default, Tomcat, CRUD application, servlet, complete, initialize, I want to rerun it just to see the default ones first. Just to check that there is nothing more. No, default primary key, initialized ID unit, spring, I see no error so far. But apparently there is an error with the request. So the request did get created. And then we have from the service, nothing seems to be wrong so far. What do you mean it's never assigned? It should be assigned in the service layer. So that's the controller. Now let's check the service. We have user repository. Yes, it should be already initialized here. Never assign. No, it was assigned exactly right here. Huh. Okay, I think that's an error that I need to check from the video. No, that part isn't. If I remember correctly, that's the connection to get the visual representation, but I think that's only for the paid version. Okay, let me check out the business layer was.
NT design panel.
Or did I do that dependency injection wrong? I think I did. Okay. I need to check that from here. How to make a dependency injection between the client service and repository layer in Spring Boot. Yeah, okay. That was my mistake. That I did the auto wiring wrong. I thought you can just add the auto wire for the variable and then it will be finished, but no, I have to also make the constructor, and it was with the constructor. For some reason I wrote it at the beginning like that, and then I removed it after. Anyway, auto wired, and then we have private, and we say even final because it will not change. Now I'll check what that error is. Or let me just type the constructor public controller. We are in the controller class after all, and then we have user service, and then we say this dot user service equals to user service. Then we go to the service, we do the same thing. Auto wired, then public user service, yes. Say user repository, user repository also, small letters this time, and this dot user repository equals to user repository. And there is nothing in the user repository, so yep, I was going to say I forgot the file. Now let's try to rerun the application again. And let's try to send a request. Still the error. I mean, let me check out the repository. Oh, okay. I forgot also the annotation. There is something else that okay, no, we did create that part. So wait, there was a student config, but I'm not sure. What does the configuration class do? Oh. When working in Spring Boot. Is used to define a bean. A more specific question: why do we need to create it? Or a user class, for example. specific for a user class. It's not strictly necessary, however, there are scenarios having config class for a user class or any model that custom bean initialization. If you need to customize the initialize the user entity such as certain default values, custom repository. How about I check what the guy is saying here?
Alright, so let's go ahead and start our server. There we go. So server up and running. And if I open up my web browser, so remember here before we had one student, Miriam, and now if I refresh this, you can see that we have empty array. And this is because there is no one in our database. And in fact, prove that to you. So in here, what I'm going to do is
Yes, there is nothing there.
and right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a class and I'm going to name it as student and then config,
Okay, why?
and let's annotate this with add and then configuration, just like that. So this will be a configuration file, and in here we want to have a bean. So we want to have this bean right here. So say command.
Okay, it's not explained why. Let me check here then. If you need to customize the initialization of the user, you typically create a service to manage business logic and interact with the database. You can use a configuration code to customize how these are initiated. Custom bean. Customize the data source or Java repository for user. Nope, I have no idea.
Line
But I'll
of
continue with how
and this
how the video goes first.
will take nothing inside there, but here we want to return args, and for now we'll do arguments, and here let's annotate this with add and bean so that this runs. And what
I'm
we
not
do
sure what that is.
to have access to our repository. So here we can inject student repository just like that, and I'm going to name it repository. And from this point onwards, what we can do is, remember we had a student before, so if I press my V, so this is the student we had before, and then add semicolon there, and then import this, and global as well. In here, what I'm going to do is add static import, just like that. So now this is our student, and press my V, magic V, and this is Mariam. Let's also create another student, so in here, and this time, what I'll do is enter the ID, right, because this will be generated for us by the database.
Okay, so instead of what I did with the post, he's actually making it inside the website.
For example, disables as a list, and this with semicolon. So you can see there int and int. Before we had I select even within IntelliJ. So in here I can open the console. Let me just open egg and and get request. Right? We have everywhere really fast, and so far we have everything working. So we have the get request that gives us a list of students, and upon a client sending a request, we have the service layer for business logic, the data access, we have the
Still not
database
sure why we
running,
used the last
and
part, but
everything is configured beautifully. Now all we have to do is to implement these three other HTTP methods. So post for saving new resources, put for updating, delete for deleting. Before we
transit.
post
Okay.
is put in our database, because we can take care of others to save new students into our system, what I'm going to do is take care of age. Basically, I don't want age to be stored in our database because we can calculate that based off the date of birth. So to do that, let's go ahead and open up IntelliJ in this page, So one thing also, so make sure that whatever package that you import, you always use the java.persistence, because from the image,
Okay, the H part isn't at least that
the
much
H
important to me.
tables that's
We'll do
gone.
that later. Post mapping, yes.
For our post request, we want to send this payload right here to our server, and we want to check whether the email exists. If it doesn't, then we save the student to our database. If the email is taken, we want to throw an exception. So let's go ahead and open up IntelliJ, and in here, inside of student controller, you've seen this class, and remember, we have implemented the get mapping. Now let's implement the API that will take a payload and then store that in our system. So post is used when you want to add new resources to your system. In our case, we'll add a new student. So here, let's go ahead and say public, and then void, and then I'm going to say register, and then new, and then student, and this will take a student, just like that. And now what we'll do is,
Okay, so it was a void like I was saying. That ChatGPT.
invoke the should now from here, method inside of the service class. I'm going to create this method. What I'm going to do is,
Yes, that was exactly what I had in mind. But for some reason, ChatGPT said no, you have to give a response back. Okay. ChatGPT may be proven to be not as much reliable as I thought it would be, because it's making stuff more complicated for no reason. So forget about all of this. Forget about all of this. So this was from type void, and return. Actually, let's go down. Return user actually there's no need for the capital here. Dot create user, and let's put the user here. And then we go to the user service.
option, and then enter. I want to create this method inside of the service class, and there we go. So at this point, I'm not going to do anything because I want to go back in here to the controller.
Mm-hmm.
In order for this to work, we need to do the following.
Post mapper.
And you're going to take the student that comes from the client. So this JSON blob right here, we want to map that into this student by taking it from the response, or actually request. So request and then body.
Okay, so that's one part that should be still there. Add request body.
So this is what this means, right? So we take the request body and then we map it into a student right here. So now we're going to add the student. So let's open up the add the student. And for now, let's just say sound and then student.
Okay, sure. There's no need to return. User.
So let's just open up the add new student and
Okay, yes, there is no return. I was going to say, why is it giving me that it's wrong?
add the student. So let's open up the add new student, and for now, let's just say sound and then student. So let's just rerun the application, and within IntelliJ, right here, you see that we can test. So in here, we can test our API. So I'm going to say open in client. There we go. So this will be opposed to localhost and then API new students. Oops, there we go. And I actually need an example.
So now comes the fun part where I can actually use Postman. I just want to restart the server for now to check on a couple of things. Okay, let's try another post. I think it was a success. Create table user, identify the data key. If you want to check if it's there or not, nope. And there is no response back, so okay, because we removed the response from there. But let's check.
Yeah, so there you go. So this is an example with the payload. So here we want that, but instead what I want is this payload right here, just like that. And this will do this request in here, but for now we're not implemented. We haven't implemented this logic, nor this. We're just logging to see whether we send a request to our server. So here I'm going to run this request. So run. There we go. That seems to have finished. And let me open up the console, run, and check this out. So in here we have student.
So yeah, it does have to show here. Because it didn't show, that means something is missing. Let me just recreated it here. Because I want to distinguish between what was already there and what just came. So we have 4 lines here. That's the post. One, two, three, 4. These are the old one. Initialize a dispatch server. Complete in one. Example. But it doesn't say anything specific. I want to check what was the method that we just used right now, because I am not familiar with it.
Goes to localhost and then 8080 API belong to students. Oops, there we go.
Okay, is that a custom? Okay, I never thought about it that way, but let me check.
/ and then
How to write a post HTTP request. So he basically how and where, to be more specific. Let me check it from here.
That URL bar or in the address post again, it's not take. So whenever time we're gonna.
Okay, I will just go. Or no, actually, let's search ChatGPT for it. Nope, that's not what I meant. It was a .http. So it is that simple. Where do I even create such a file?
Actually needs to open in test right here, rerun the app in test. So this will be opposed to local.
Hmm. Don't have a password or any of that. User ID would be 1. I don't think he specified really that part about the expected response here, but let me get that from here.
Host, and I actually need an example.
Content type application.json.
Oh, actually, yeah. So there we go. So this is an example.
Yeah, don't think we need even the authentication part yet. So we have the posts, HTTP, and the content type, and the folder.
With the payload. So here,
Not even the expected part.
the payload. So here,
And then we say post.
we want that.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, what I want is this payload right here, just like that. And this will do that.
Okay, now I need to check again.
I actually need an example. Oh, actually, yeah. So
You have post content, and that's about it.
this is an example with the payload. So here,
Okay, so yeah, he was doing multiple posts at the same time.
we want that, but instead, what I want is this payload right here, just like that. And this will do this request in here. But for now, we don't implement it. We haven't implemented this logic, nor this one. Just logging to see whether we can send a request to ourselves. So here, I'm going to run this request. So
Well, I am not able to run it. So, did he actually create that type of folder before? I don't think I have seen it. Definitely not here.
So the implement say, let's go ahead right here, semicolon, Alex. Another, this is for all. Open the console, says, well, the reward, annotate the implement no unpublished.
That last part, I'm not sure how he did.
28, we of course, no, right, this like this.
No, he didn't create that folder before.
Work, we need to do the thing, this request to have finished, request to us, nor request
Well, I tried used it in Postman, but how do I even check if it's
Here,
went
for
inside?
now, we haven't implemented
Because I
this
thought
logic,
you can check it
nor
from here,
is
but
just
no.
logging to see when they have finished. And let me open up the console, run, and check this out. So in here,
Yes, it should say here that doesn't specify the details of the user, just this thing here. Which I'm not sure that you call it success or not.
student, ID no, name below, email below Ahmed, date of birth, and then age equals to no. So this is awesome. So we've managed to take this payload and then send it across to our server.
I'm not sure about that part
You
yet.
can also use, for example, Postman or any REST client to perform this operation in here. But the reason why I like IntelliJ is that everything is integrated, especially if you're using the Ultimate Edition. Next, let's go ahead and take this student from our service class and then check whether
But I don't get that part yet. Forget about the Postman part. Let me just copy this. And let's ask ChatGPT about the meaning of these. Now partner created, yes. Entity manager. Because if I did post them, I mentioned that I want them to be saved. Oh, okay. We didn't save them yet, we just printed them. Okay, yeah, that was my mistake. Let me check what he will do, writing the business logic, because yes, I think the ID will be difficult to be added if it's similar, because we cannot have in the table two IDs that are similar to each other.
email exists. If it doesn't, we save. If not, we throw an example.
So yes, we need to write
Alright,
the business
so
logic first.
Now, and so in here we have our student repository, and we want to have a custom function here. I will find a user by email. So to do that is very simple, and here we can have this done in a couple of ways. We can have an optional, and this will be student.
I'm still not used to using
then
optionals for
construct.
some reason.
So let me import that first. We can construct the query based off the method name. So find, and you can see that I'm getting auto completion, student by, and then email. And here I want to say string, and then
Email.
email.
Yeah.
So this is one way, and this here will transform to an SQL such as select, and then star from, and then student where
Emails equals. Okay, that's one thing I definitely need to search. And it should be even a main point. How to make custom methods in the repository. I'll do it after I finish that part at least.
whatever we pass.
I do understand the code, how is it
So
written, but
this is one
I'm
way of
still
doing
not
things.
100% sure.
Annotate this with add and query in here, and this we can say select and then s, so lowercase s. So this is an alias from, and then student, and then s where, and then s dot email equals to question mark and then 1.
Yeah, that's the
So
custom
I'm just
query
going
part.
to leave this in here because you know what is happening with this.
Yeah, that one is
So again,
auto-generated. So if the, okay, the alias part again. Okay, for now I'll just...
or I can be actually
Okay, so we'll just have this part for now. Yes, we said optional.
be more specific and say that this is a query that I'm actually running.
I don't think it's the same. Optional users, fine. Yeah, that's not the same. I'll say find users by it's all caps, okay. By ID, for example. So we are using that for now. No need for the override. We are using that in the repository now. That's not a variable. I think it was in long ID.
And bear in mind that this is JPQL and not straight
Yes, I'm still also not familiar with JPQL. So that's a part I also had to study. Since these two go both in hand. JPQL. I mean, it isn't hard, I just didn't have enough time to go around it.
And this student right here, this one,
Now since the project is done, I have more room to play with JPQL.
so when we said at entity and then student, so this is this, and then we can access all of the properties, so email, age, and so forth. So now let's go back to the service class, and in here we can do the following. We can say repository, so our student repository dot, and then find by email, and then student dot get email. And again, we can do lots of validations here. I'm gonna keep it super simple, and in here I'm gonna say we're gonna try and find a student by that given email, right? So student by email. Let me put this in a new line, just like that. And now I can say if student by email dot and then is and then present. So if this is the case, I want to
Optional student by email. So that's the variable. Okay, I need to study optional again. Optional, because we keep on using it, and I know the term. I used it a couple of times, but I'm not comfortable using it here.
throw. So for now, let's just say throw new and then illegal state exception, and I'm going to say email taken, for example, right?
Okay.
So obviously there are better ways of handling exception.
Yeah, definitely, but for starter, let's just have that part now. We have optional student by email. We use the repository to find by email, and inside of it we set get ID. Let me try it. Optional users what's it called? Find? No, just user by ID. Let's import this. Yeah, it's all capital. Wait, from which class was it? Never mind. Let me just have some space here. And we say student repository, find student by email. But he's mentioning, yes, it's the variable name, user repository dot and user by ID, and we said find by ID. Get ID. Okay, so far so good. If we say if user by ID is dot is present, we say throw exception. You throw exception. I forgot the new part. Legal state it was called. The user already existed.
And you should have your custom exceptions, but this will do the trick. And we'll also rename this to, and then student, and then optional. There we go. If the student is not present, we want to save our student.
Yeah, I understand that part. Okay, so let's remove the system to start the print here.
You can do, you know, much more complex validation than this. But
Of course we can, but for now just
so
let's stick with something basic.
Say repository, so student repository dot, and then save. And then we want to save the
Exactly. That's like the one that we did at the beginning, but with extra steps. Dot save. We say user.
student, just like that, and there we go. So to be honest, this is everything.
Okay.
We've added a new method into our repository.
Can we check it now?
We have some business logic going on. Next, let's go ahead and test this and see it working. Next, let's go ahead and test this. So let me stop the server. Oh, actually, in here. So this is the server, and it's not running. So
Yes, we need to rerun it again, and this one is a specific function. So we'll leave it at that. I don't have the IntelliJ yet.
just give it a second. There we go. So up and running. Now let me go back to this request in here that we had before, and what I'm gonna do is run this request, so this one to student and then the same payload, and then run. We see that this post right here was, and then the same.
Okay. Let's try Postman again. So it's error and timeout. So it started from here, servlet, completed. Servlet for servlet, dispatch in context with path, exception, request, processing failed. Row was updated or deleted by another transaction or unsaved value mapping with the root cause. All of this is just subsequent to that mistake, but I'm not sure. Since we are giving it the ID there and it should be auto-generated. Okay, so let me just remove the ID for now. Let's stop it here and rerun it again. Since the ID should be auto-generated, it's not something I should be posting in the post request also. So let's try again. Completed initialize, Hibernate select queue, ID, insert email and name with values. Okay, let's check now. Oh, so it is saved in the database. So yes, it didn't work for the first time because of the ID. We did the ID as auto-generated. I cannot give it in the post request afterwards. I'm exhausted. So now we did make a basic post request. I think tomorrow we should make the get one for the post that we just got. But I think the important part to do will probably be learning about the repository more and JBQL and the optional thing, and try to play with as much as I can in this project before moving on. We still haven't created the two other methods, and my goal is to create at least one of each, if not more, just to play around with how the functions work, and then actually do the entire part again afterwards. But should I start making it with JavaScript? I don't think so. Still not yet, because I don't think I'm still on that level to combine it with the front end yet. So we will stick with the Postman, at least for now. And yeah, I'll just have to play with the JBQL, and the repository seems fun since we have a lot of custom options as well as built-in options. The built-in one I'm still not familiar with, which I probably need to. And we have a lot of these questions here, which we will check later on. And so yeah, I think that will be it for today. I don't want to start another thing, because if I did, it would probably be too long.
Payload, and then run.
Yes, we still have the delete part. I'm not sure how to do that even. Let me check something else.
/ and then
JPA repository methods.
You can do is you can simply create. Hi everyone, Ramesh here. Welcome to
I mean, JPA is not that complicated to have a tutorial for. I will not use the tutorial for that. I'll just ask ChatGPT. What are the methods used in the GPA repository? We have save all, find by all, but that's not the beauty where this JPA lies on. The combining of them. Yeah, it's called query methods. That's what I was searching for. AKA query methods, because the basic ones are simple. And then you have custom query. Custom query. Custom query will be the most fun part. So I think we will do this. We will do different types of post requests and different types of get requests and try to do some business logic for them. I'll have to come with some ideas for that off stream. What are the methods and the logic that we can come and use? Like the most common one, like finding by email to check before saving the email, something like that. We will see. But for now that would be enough for today, even though it wasn't that much time, but I feel my brain is already full of new stuff. And